real. We mean it this time. Hello my lovely friends, welcome back to the channel. Today I am going to be talking to you about the 2022 Reading Wrap Challenge. Yes, I know you guys are going, Margaret, why are you doing all of the readathons in December? Listen, I have no control over when Taylor Swift was born. This is our 4th year doing it. Basically, it's just a reading it challenge that goes from December 1st to December 31st, and it's meant to help people finish any books that they've started this year, like bump up their Goodreads goal for those people like me who get to the end of the year and then suddenly are in a mad rush to finish all of the reading goals that they had for that year. You know, those goals where you're so close. So there are a couple of different ways this is going to work this year. We're going to have the typical 5x5 bingo board, and yes, I will be going into detail on all of these. I also introduced, since people liked it so much for the mid-year reading scramble, I'm also introducing 3 different focuses. We have, once again, your Goodreads goal, currently reading, and your physical TBR. So for those of you that feel like the big bingo board is a little too much pressure, you want a little bit more low-key option, you have these guys. You can do this however you want. If you want to just do one row, you can. If you want to black out the whole board, you can. Same thing with the trees. If you just want to do one path, you can. If you want to black out the whole thing, you also can with that one. We'll start with the Reading Wrap Challenge graphic, and then I'll walk you through the others as well. There are some that I just like to keep recycling every year, and then I did add some new ones in there, so it's not the same as it was last year. So the first row of challenges on the main bingo board is read a debut author, read a comfort book, read a shiny book, read something that you bought used or from an indie bookstore, and read something for a readathon. For the second row, we have read a red book, read a book with a cozy cover, read a book that is not set in winter, since, you know, the Southern Hemisphere is not currently experiencing winter. They're in the middle of their summer. Read the lowest rated book on your TBR, and finally, read a new to you author. Going into row 3, the prompts for that are read a book that you are over 50% done with, read a book that your friend has picked out, read a 2022 release, read a sequel, and read a book for a vlog. Moving on to row 4, the prompts for that row are read a translated book, read your most recent purchase, read something from your November TBR, or something that you were thinking about reading in November and just didn't get around to, for those of you that are mood readers. Read a winter cover, and read the longest book on your TBR to wrap up row 4. And then row 5 is finish your current read, read a blue book, read a book with a holiday reference in the title, read a book from your physical TBR, and read a book you got for free. And then from there, I just picked 15 of those prompts and put them on the different trees. Each tree has a different combination of prompts, so I'll walk you through that as well. We'll start with the Goodreads goal focus. That one starts out by you need to finish your current read. From there, you can choose between reading a debut author or reading a comfort book. If you choose debut author, your next choice is going to be between reading a shiny book or reading a book that you bought from an indie or used bookstore. If you choose to read a shiny book, your choices are to read a book with a cozy cover or to read a book not set in winter. If instead of choosing the shiny book, you instead chose to read a book you bought at an indie or used bookstore, your choices from there are read your lowest rated book or read a new to you author. Going almost all the way back up to the tippy top, if instead of reading a debut author, you chose comfort book for your prompt, your next choice is going to be between reading a book for a readathon or reading a red book. Or if instead of reading a book for a readathon, you chose to read a red book, your choice will be between reading a 2022 book and reading a sequel. If you are wanting to focus on finishing your currently reading, then you are going to start with reading a book that is over 50% done. Then your next choice is going to be between a cozy book or reading a book for a vlog. If you chose cozy book, your next choice will be between reading a book not set in winter or reading your lowest rated book. If not in winter is your choice, then your final choice will be between reading a 2022 book and reading a sequel. If you instead chose to read your lowest rated book, your choice will be between reading a red book and reading a translated work. If at that first choice you instead chose to read a book for a vlog, your next choice, your third choice, will be between reading a book that is by a new to you author or reading a friend's pick. If you choose to read a new to you author, your final choice will be between reading your most recent purchase or something that was on your November TBR. If for that third choice you chose to read a friend's pick, your choice will be between reading a winter cover and reading your longest book. And then for those of us that are trying to tackle our physical TBRs and get that thing down to a manageable size, not calling anyone out here in particular, nope, not myself, not at all. You're gonna start out with whatever your most recent purchase is. Don't let it sit on the shelf, just read it, just do it, go. Once you finish that, your first choice is going to be reading a book for a vlog or reading a translated work. If your choice was the book for the vlog, your second choice is going to be to read a book on your November TBR or a book with a winter cover. If you choose to read a book on the TBR, your next choice is going to be to read a blue book or a book with a holiday in the title. If for that third choice you instead chose to read a winter book with a winter cover, your next choice is going to be between reading a book you got for free and reading a book by a debut author. If you chose translated work for that first choice, your next choices are going to be between reading the longest book on your TBR or something that you are currently reading. You know what happens. Don't argue with me. If you choose longest book, your final choice will be between reading a comfort book or reading a shiny book. If instead you chose to finish a current read, your final choice will be between reading a book for an indie or used bookstore or reading a book for a readathon. There you go. There you have it. This is less like a readathon than it is just a reading challenge to help motivate people to get things read, to do things. At least for this one, there are fewer prompts than there are days in the reading challenge. It's fine. If you're looking for something that's going to be a bit more involved, maybe require a bit more effort, I would suggest checking out the Eras Readathon. We're going to be building TBRs based on what we want our Eras tour set list to be. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. That is it for now, my friends. Happy reading, and I will see you later when we will talk about more wordy, nerdy things. Bye!